So something I want to say about what you just said. You said, what else are we going to do with our time? I find it funny because it's like, were we born to like spend most of our time just working like a corporate job that realistically deep down we don't really care about when there's like, I'm sure all of us have dreams and like passions.
Yeah. I think it depends on like what you're going to the corporate job for. Like, is it a means to an end? Are you trying to like climb up the ladder? Are you trying to like, because that also matters too. Like, if you're someone who wants to climb up the corporate ladder, then a 9-to-5 is perfect for you because it provides that avenue. If you're just doing it for money, then it's like it's a different story.
I definitely agree with that idea of like the people as well, because obviously I've done 2 internships, so I've had the contrast of
let other people have opportunities. Don't make me laugh. Some people are starving for one. Some people are starving for one.
Applications.
Alright, Echats is back. Guys, what we're done. We're just getting started. Alright, so make sure you guys have liked, comment, subscribe, because we're going to be coming at you guys with more weekly uploads. But yeah, let's introduce ourselves. So my name is Julio, and today we have...
My name is Joe.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Karen.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Antonio.
Okay, cool. So, guys, Adult Life has started. How you guys feeling about that?
Uni's done, man.
I'm not for everyone though.
Oh, sorry.
I'm still there. I'm still there.
Sorry, man.
Oh, yeah. We've all started working, innit?
To some degree.
Yeah, I had like some experience.
Just quickly, good, bad, how you guys feeling about that?
I think eye-opening, but more. I'll say good. Good.
God.
I feel like it's been alright so far. I mean, I just wanted to get out of education. It's been dragging, so for me to actually be in a position where I've like, made that transition, I don't know, it's kind of freeing. Education was just for like slavery, man.
Making sense. Anyway, so you know how it usually goes. We're gonna play a video. You guys are gonna have a chance to look at it, and yeah, if you guys want to pause it as well, feel free to pause it down.
It's alright, man.
But yeah, it's calm. So it's like we're just gonna get your opinions on it, and yeah, let's start the video.
With me. If you go to work at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning because you have to travel, you come home at 6 o'clock, 6:30 because again, you have to travel back home. You do that from Monday to Friday. You get 2 days off, you're knackered on Saturday because you've been working all week. Sunday, you start stressing about work because it's like, I got work again tomorrow. And you do that for 30 years of your life. I mean, it's 40 if you start work at 20 and retire at 60 or 65, it's even more. You got to ask your manager when to go, take a holiday, take a break. You're always stressing, thinking, I might get sacked one day, I might get sacked, and then I'm in trouble. If that is not slavery, what is it? Tell me in the comments, what is it? Now, I already know this is going to rattle some cake.
Cool. So what do you guys think? Initial thoughts?
I'm not gonna lie. I did notice this when I was working. Like your whole life becomes the job. Just because like mentally you're there for like 5 days in a week, and then the weekend is kind of you preparing or like relaxing or resting from the week as well. And I feel like even though you get 28 days, I think it is 25, 26, something like that. Yeah, it depends on the company. Like so much of your existence becomes the job, and I don't think that's an adequate life because you're not really living, you're existing. And I've always said that like I see we're all kind of like wage slaves in a sense. I think it's a more like progressive version, but we work for the money rather than like the satisfaction of the job. Like I doubt if you're staying on a computer all day you're loving what you're doing like extremely. Do you know what I mean? I think it's even hard to love something like that because it's so like it's not like there's no interaction or connection really. Do you know what I mean with the job? Like you can't really build an emotional connection with spreadsheets. Do you know what I mean? The way you could have like, I guess it depends on your job to be fair, but I do definitely feel like it is very consuming and it does take a lot out of you, like just as a human being.
No, I agree as well, especially from like a corporate perspective where you're just in the office all day. It can become like quite monotonous and boring if you're doing the same like repetitive tasks.
Yeah.
But like something that you mentioned, Kevin, was the fact that like it's important to like love what you're doing.
Exactly.
And some people like maybe they love investment banking.
They do. No.
Guys
People
love
do. They
investment
actually really do. They
Yeah.
really do. It's so true.
Exactly. Like,
yeah, it's so true.
There are people that just love auditing, just love
Yeah.
being at the computer,
Yeah.
Excel.
It's so true.
But it takes a certain type of person to do that, and the vast majority of people aren't like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
exactly.
I feel like the biggest thing that people can do is just get as much experience as possible to see what they like and what they actually like, what they actually enjoy. Because on my internship, I was working for like a real estate company over summer. I thought I went into it gassed. I was excited, thinking, yeah, I'm here to Mayfair. I'm there, and after a week or two, I'm thinking, oh, this isn't what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? So, and now, like, the role that I'm currently in is something completely different, and so far it's been like I can actually see myself enjoying it. So, like, even though it becomes like your life or a big part of your life, if you're enjoying it, then it's bearable. But even if it's bearable, I don't know, you still want to have the freedom to do other things. I don't like having people tell me I can go on holiday.
I hear that.
I think it's even more than just like enjoying what you do. I think the people you work with need to be like good as well. Because I interned like early in the summer at like, yeah, I don't know, like, I'd say the people weren't, I don't know, I just couldn't like relate to them that much, and like it made going into work like harder. And like I'm interning at another place now, and I prefer the people, and it makes such a big difference. So I think it's even it's more than just the actual work you're doing as well.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that idea of like the people as well, because obviously I've done 2 internships, so I've had the contrast of
Let
like,
other people have opportunities. Don't make me laugh. Some people are starving for one. Some people are starving for
200
one.
applications.
but yeah, I think it was interesting to see, like, because one's in the private sector, one's in the public sector, and I kind of assumed that people in the private sector I wouldn't really gel with properly, because there's a lot of questions about people morality in the private sector. But I feel like I was surprised by how like genuine they were, and I think like you both touched on like the idea of it being very consuming, but I feel like at our age, like, what else are we going to be doing with our time, innit? Like, what else, like, if you're not working, what else? Like,
It's
what,
so true.
we don't have
Doesn't that
kids,
make
we
it a
don't
bit
have...
scarier though, that it's like it's kind of that or nothing? It's
No,
like,
you know what it is though? It's like,
it's
it's nothing. I don't
not
think
necessarily nothing, but the other opportunities are more rare.
But
Do
we're
you know what
investing
I'm
in
about?
ourselves too, like...
It's, I find, sorry to cut you off.
No, I was going to say, like, the idea of, like, the 20s, you should be investing in yourself, like,
True.
accumulating wealth, and then 30s, that's when you're making family, having children. Do you know what I'm saying? You're maybe buying a house.
But
Do you
something
know
I
what
want
I'm
to
saying?
say about what you just said. You said, what else are we going to do with our time? I find it funny because it's like, were we born to like spend most of our time just working like a corporate job that realistically deep down we don't really care about, when there's like, I'm sure all of us have dreams and like passions.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the answer to that.
I
That's
was
what
like,
we
get
do.
onto the idea of like, do something that you want to do, of course, innit? Because you're 20s. But I think the idea of a 9 to 5 is that you have a stable routine and like a job and something that you continue to do all the time. And obviously, because of the pandemic, I feel like the 9 to 5 has changed a lot as well. Because a lot of people, you're working from home. You can wake up at 8:55, log on 9 o'clock, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, and obviously, I'm not a big advocate for 9 to 5, but I'm saying that I understand why people get involved in it, because it's stable.
Yeah.
Like,
For
you know,
sure.
you got a good income. If you're in a good role, there's good opportunities to promote yourself.
Yeah,
and stuff like
exactly.
that.
Exactly.
You build a career for
exactly.
yourself, you become more professional, whatever. And it gives you like credibility if you want to do something else. And you can always like pivot as well to different careers.
Yeah,
I think
you totally can.
there's pros and cons in it. Obviously, you have a dream or passion. Like, if you like see yourself doing something different, like apart from 9 to 5, I think do that. But I feel like if you have no other options or choice or like idea of what you want to do the 9 to 5 and then find your feet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Stop begging your girls for money.
Do you know what I find so interesting though? I think there's definitely something to be said about what is work and what is deemed work and what isn't. Because I've always said that, like, especially because I'm such a like relationship oriented person, the people in my life matter to me so much. Like, I see the time I invest in my relationships to be work. Do you know what I mean? Like, speaking to them, make sure they're okay, like checking up on them, building that connection. It's work to me. And I think everything in existence is work because you're investing something and building it up. And to me, that's what work is at the end of the day. Like, you're trying to grow something. Do you know what I mean? And so I think one thing that the 9 to 5 does, it limits our perception of what can be work. And then, like, for example. Also productivity too. It's like, for me, like, if there's a day where I've spoken to, like, I've made an attempt to speak to, like, I don't know, 5 friends, that's a really productive day to me. But other people be like, actually no, because you didn't spend 8 hours reading this book or doing that or doing this. And I feel like as human beings, like, things take energy, and anything that takes energy is work. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like we need to broaden it, and I think the 9 to 5 just normalizes one specific view of what it means to have a job and to work, and I think that can be quite problematic sometimes.
I think that's interesting as well, because I think one thing that I feel like we've done a disservice with is like there's so many different careers out there. There's so many things that you can make money from, but we're sort of like putting this like pipeline of like corporate, law, medicine, whatever. I think that might be down to family or whatever, but like, culture, but like there's so many different roles that you can occupy, make money, and do what you want to do and enjoy. So like,
I also think it depends on like what you're going to the corporate job for. Like, is it a means to an end? Are you trying to like climb up the ladder? Are you trying to like, because that also matters too. Like, if you're someone who wants to climb up the corporate ladder, then a 9 to 5 is perfect for you because it provides that avenue. If you're just doing it for money, then it's like it's a different story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think it's usually with most people it's just for money.
It is.
I guess status as well. Because there's something that comes from like, you know, when you work in certain companies and people say, where do you work? And they're like, wow, and you're just like, and they're like, oh, what's your job? And you say something a bit, you know,
interesting.
Good.
Exactly.
People are really like, wow. So I feel like lots of people do it for that, because I think some people might have other things they might want to do. Like, I've heard people say, oh, I would teach but the money, or I would be such and such but it's not seen as that good, because there's certain jobs that might be really rewarding or fulfilling, but like if you were to tell people be like,
that's nice. Yeah, I hear it.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Are you guys trying to say like some of us are just doing jobs because they sound good?
Yeah, for sure. I think some people,
but I think the reasons for it are different though. Like some people, like they want credibility.
Yeah.
They do something else.
Yeah.
They want to have something behind them. Then there's other people that, you know, in that conversation, they can just take their breath and say, I do this, I'm a lawyer, I work here, I do that. Do you know what I'm saying? So.
And I also feel like it also depends like your social economic background as well, because like if you're from somewhere where it's like you didn't have those opportunities growing up, or like your parents were like didn't come from these sorts of roles, like it's very prestigious and it like elevates you and your family, and that also matters too as well, because like it gives you, like you said, credibility, not just for yourself, but like the perception of who you are as a person changes if you're in one of these roles. Do you know what I mean? So it's like that also matters too, especially if you're like a minority. Like it adds to like your social worth.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's important to understand your why. Like, why you do something. Like, is it money motivated? Is it based on status? Is it based on wanting to grow and develop as a person? And I feel like a 9 to 5 can provide each one of those things. And like understanding the motivations for why you get up every morning and why you stay focused and why you stay constantly socializing with people you don't even really want to chat to on a day-to-day basis. It's important because that's what really keeps you going.
It's so true.
Yeah,
it's so true.
But do you think it's bad if it's just money or if it's just status? Because I think
I really don't think so.
If that's what it is, then that's what it is.
Actually, I've got a question.
Like,
sorry.
I don't know, like obviously, like a lot of people who work in like big like corporate jobs, I feel like most people are there because of the pay.
Yeah.
I don't think people actually enjoy it. I mean, some people do, but I don't think most of them enjoy what they're doing.
Do you guys feel like there's actually a pay that's worth some of these like intense jobs that some people are doing?
It depends on the person. Like, it depends on what you're willing to.
For example, we know a lot of people are doing like investment banking and stuff like that, and we know some of them are working like till the AMs basically, and you know they're earning about, I don't know, maybe 60k. Do you guys think that's worth all the sacrifices that they're making?
It really depends on the person.
It depends person to person, because we all have like things that we want out of life. So some people are very content to, like, for example, like live at home for a long time, not buy expensive things, not have like live quite a humble lifestyle. Some people feel really like motivated for, you know, their own place, their own car, designer things, soft life, restaurants, this, that, the other. So I feel like if like those things really appeal to you, then I guess it is worth it, because you need to give yourself what you need. Like, you need to do what you need to do to give yourself what you need in life, if that makes sense. But if it's not important to you, like some people honestly don't care, then it's not worth it, because why are you like accumulating so much money if you don't need it, if that makes sense?
For some people as well, it's not just about the money, but it's the challenge of things. Because when you go into some of these corporate places, you're not just competing with people that you grew up with or people that you know, you're competing with like a global talent. People that went, like people from New York, India, China, Pakistan, the smartest of the smartest. And like when you're coming from certain backgrounds and certain areas, you want to be able to test yourself against these people.
I hear
see
that.
if you can really sink or swim and chill with the big boys, isn't it?
It's kind of like it's kind of like getting yourself into a top university. Then the next thing is like getting yourself into some of the toughest, like most competitive industries. I guess it's similar to that. Some people really thrive off like the competitive environment.
And I hear it.
I hear that.
I really do hear it. It's cool. I feel like during my internship that I did, like the pressure is so like, in the moment it can feel so overwhelming, but like it really pushes you to be the best. And I think there's something to be said about working at these companies, because there is so much that I learned from my internship that's just developed me as a person because I was in that environment. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't get that anywhere else. And it's like, you just have to ask yourself, like, if you're willing, like if pressure makes you thrive or if you crumble under it. And it's okay if like you don't like pressure, but for those who do, like, those are the environments that they want to be in.
Something like,
do you know what I mean?
getting out some people. You said it's okay if you don't like pressure.
No, it's true.
But you know what it is? I feel like pressure is like, it's very overwhelming, because I was overwhelmed quite a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, even though I enjoyed it to some extent, like I know not everyone could do what I have done, and that's fine. It doesn't make them worse than me. Do you know what I mean? It just means they're different.
Some people can sing.
Do you know what I mean? It's fine. I feel like you just have to find what's for you. Just find what's for you. I think it's like it's great.
No, but you lot, I've got a question though. If money wasn't a thing, and like you didn't have to do a 9 to 5, what would you lot want to do? Like,
I already say this. I would be an actor. I feel like even I don't care about 9 to 5 anyways. Like, so I'm gonna be an actor regardless. But I would definitely be like.
Wait, if we didn't have to work?
if you didn't have to work, like what would you do?
I would just travel.
Yeah, I would.
I hear that too.
With soft life, if I didn't have to work, like definitely just travel, see the world, try new things.
Like money wasn't a
money's not a thing. Like you can just do what you want to do.
For me, I don't know. I still want to be like doing stuff like.
I was just gonna say that.
I'm very visual, so I like seeing the work. I like seeing like the fruits of my labor, like the vision in front of me. So it would have to be something where like, I have to be building something, whether it's a business or organization, just like something that's adding value to other people's lives.
That's so sweet. I hear that. I'm not gonna lie, like I actually enjoy working. Like I do enjoy like the act of. I love seeing things being built up from the ground up. Do you know what I mean? Like I appreciate that, and I feel like even if I didn't worry about money, I'd still be working on something. Do you know what I mean? Like I find myself just doing nothing.
I'm not like that, you know.
Really?
I feel like I'm calm to just like see where life goes, you know. Like I don't have to be doing something, but it doesn't have to be work. Like I could just be doing activities. So if I was traveling and then I was doing like, let's say, water sports or trying stuff I've never done before, snorkeling, or I'm just doing like different things, experiencing life, I would be happy like that, as long as I'm just constantly doing new things.
I hear that.
It doesn't have to be like a task.
I hear that. What would you do if you weren't?
I'm already doing it.
I love that.
I feel like on that note, we're gonna have to end this video because time is running out. But any last thoughts? Anyone wanna end off with an interesting?
Do what makes you happy. Don't worry about the money. You'll figure it out. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah, the money will come regardless.
Yeah. Money's not hard to come by. That's a very privileged thing to say, but money's not hard to come by. That was really privileged. But trust me, it's not hard to come by. Yeah.
Alright, and that's a wrap.
Bye guys. Like and subscribe.
Literally, and follow us for more.
Guys can talk amongst yourselves.
That was really cute. I love these.
It started off with
where I said
I was just gonna say that. You know when you like, I didn't like to say that.